Hi, and welcome to day 2, lesson 2 of 1-1 Business Organization and Financial Algebra. I'd like you to title your next page in your notebooks as follows: 1-1 Business Organization. It's day 2, and your dates for these lessons are, depending on what day you are, your cohort is, it's October 1st and October 2nd of 2020. Our learning target is we're going to become familiar with the basic vocabulary of business organizations and be able to compute financial responsibility of business ownership based on ratios and percents. Here's a little brain tickler for you. Keon owns 35% of a sporting goods store worth $350,000. How much is Keon's share of the store worth? And if Keon wanted to own a majority of the store, how much more would Keon need to invest in majority ownership? To determine what 35% of 350,000 is, we have to turn 35% into a decimal. Think of money. How do you write 35 cents? You write it like this: 0.35. Then we multiply that times, and please don't divide, $350,000. What is 0.35 times $350,000? It is $122,500. If you don't have a handheld calculator, please go to desmos.com on another tab of your device so you can bring that up to work on it. So to get a majority of the store, he would have to have a total of $175,001. That would give him $1 towards the investment. Half of 350 is $175,000. So he needs to own $175,001. And we're going to back out what he already owns to determine how much more he needs to figure. So 175,001 minus 122,500 is $52,501. That's what he's got to do if he wants to have a majority ownership. Please get that down, and we'll go to the next slide. All right. Please turn to last class's notes, which would say 1-1 day 1. I'm sorry, I wrote day 2 on here. And write a question in the on the side here. I've given you an example of a question. My example is: can an owner's personal possessions be taken by lawsuit against his or her corporation? And the answer to that is no. You have no personal liability if you are a corporate owner. When you get your question done, circle your 24, and hopefully your 10 is already circled. All right, here are 2 links to videos on the stock market and A Millionaire in the Making, which we can't share with you because I don't know how to embed a video in a video yet. When I do, things like this will happen. I will try and get a link to these videos up for you. They're just kind of an overview, and interesting for that fact alone. All right, here is page 6. Which is what we're looking at today before we go to our questions. Example 3, and the check your understanding. I put it here for you so you could see what it looks like in the book in case you don't have a text yet. Excuse me. Example 3 on page 6. 3 partners are investing a total of $900,000 to open a garden and landscaping store. Their investments are in the ratio of 2 to 3 to 5. How much does the partner that invested the least contribute? All right, with ratios, you always add the ratios to determine how many parts in the ratio there are. You add ratios to determine how many parts. So in this case, we would go 2 plus 3 plus 5, which equals 10 parts. And once we know that, we take our whole amount, $900,000, and we divide it by 10. Oh, on your Desmos calculator or your handheld calculator, or just because you know that to multiply by 10 means to move your decimal point over one space, the answer is $90,000. But that's not the answer to the question they're asking us. That answer is for one part of the ratio. It says the least, and this person right here with 2 parts has the least, so we go 2 times 90,000 to determine how much he invested, or she, as the case may be. It is $180,000. Please get that down in your notes, and we'll continue to the next slide. All right, here's a check your understanding based on the same principles. 2 partners are starting a wedding planning business, and the total investment is $45,000. Their investments are in the ratio of 4 to 5. How much does each investor contribute? Again, ratios, we add. What is 4 plus 5? You're right if you said 9. Now that we have 9, we take $45,000 and we divide it by 9. $45,000 divided by 9 is $5,000. Again, that's one part. It's not the answer to our question. If you said $5,000 was the answer to this question on a quiz, you would get it wrong, because it wants to know how much does each investor contribute. So we have one investor at 4 times $5,000, which is $20,000. And the other one is 5 times 5,000, which is $25,000. Please get that down in your notebooks, and we'll go on to the next slide. All right, review today's notes, underline anything important, and circle the 10. Remember, people who take Cornell notes retain 90% of the information they are given, compared to people who don't take notes at 58. Today our assignments is questions 7, 8, 9, 11 and 12, and 15 and 16 on pages 7 and 8 of our textbooks. You can access this under assignments as assignment number 4. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.